University.
Balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News at 9.
Governor Evers is looking ahead to the future in his annual State of the State address.
This past year has shown there's much we can accomplish when we work together. Today, there are pressing issues that demand our work. Bridging partisan divide continues.
Tonight, we'll bring you highlights from the governor's address and reaction from lawmakers gathered in Madison. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at 9 tonight. Governor Tony Evers delivered his 6th State of the State address tonight at the Capitol in Madison. Evers focused on past successes and areas he says need more attention from legislators. Democratic Governor Tony Evers shared his view of the state of the state with the full legislature in the Assembly chambers. He made it clear, despite a political divide, lawmakers need to work together to move Wisconsin forward.
Wisconsin, we've proven this past year that we can do big things, especially when we're willing to do them together.
Evers underscored many items that need ongoing attention and funding, like addressing the state's workforce shortage, bolstering the child care industry, and the need for more affordable housing.
This past year, we worked together to invest more than $500 million in workforce housing, one of the largest investments in our state's history.
Evers highlighted the success of his historic long-term investments in the state's infrastructure, which he promises to continue.
When I took office, years of disinvestment had caused our roads and our bridges to crumble in disrepair. So you're darn right, we've been fixing the damn roads.
Facing Republican leadership, which controls both the state Senate and Assembly, Evers called them out for not releasing millions in approved funds to fight PFAS statewide.
A $125 million investment to fight PFAS statewide, sitting right here in Madison because Republicans refuse to release it. That's breathtaking.
Evers also attacked Republicans for trying to restrict health care services for women. He announced he's expanding access to emergency contraception.
Every Wisconsinite should be able to access the health care they need and when they need it. And yes, that includes contraception.
Evers says he will continue to promote workforce development, pushing for support for the state's child care industry, calling on legislators to support growing Wisconsin.
I know we can build upon these efforts in 2024, and together we will. Let's get back at it. Let's get to work. Thank you. Northeast
Wisconsin lawmakers are weighing in with their thoughts on the governor's speech tonight. Fox 11's Brady Meyer joins us from live outside the Capitol this evening. And Brady, who did you talk to and what did they have to say?
Mark, we were situated in the back of the Assembly chamber, right behind where all the Democrats are seated, and for much of the time we were looking at the backs of heads because of how much they were standing up and cheering for what Evers was saying. You know, obviously it seems pretty obvious to say, but they felt good about what happened tonight, and the Republican side, they did have some positive takeaways, but the overall feeling was certainly less positive. Tonight we bring you both sides on the reaction. Governor Tony Evers' 6th State of the State address was exactly what members of the Democratic Party wanted to hear.
I thought it was great. I mean, it's really an opportunity for us to know what the governor is going to focus on in 2024 and how we can support him in that. I loved making ourselves a state that people want to come to, so we have more workforce. I love the continued investment in child care. I think it's going to be a great year.
That includes State Representative Lee Snodgrass. She says it hit on all the top priorities for 2024, though for others it missed the mark.
I think the interesting thing was that all the things that he touts as accomplishments were actually part of a Republican budget.
You know, we just had this tax plan that we came out that's really focused on, just like he said, this is going to be the year of the working class citizen. Surprised he didn't mention it, surprised he didn't at least mention some of that bill that he was okay with. That would at least give us some crumbs on what he would sign.
Though Democratic State Representative Christina Shelton says it's necessary to continue those conversations.
What we're waiting for is to see how this fair maps conversation is going to go in the legislature. That's really going to be the template for how we can move forward. When we have true accountability at the ballot box, we'll be able to have, I think, more robust discussion about ways that we come together in a bipartisan way.
Shelton adds that she thinks it did a great job of unifying the legislature and raising confidence ahead of the remaining session.
When we get those fair maps, it's going to allow us to really figure out a way to truly advance the will of the Wisconsin people on a number of issues.
Wimberger believes it had a very different effect.
Those are highly technical legal questions, and to just give it one-liners and just to give it that treatment, I think is unfair because those things are very nuanced. A lot of people have very different positions for very different reasons.
However, both sides say regardless of how they felt the speech was received, they're confident moving forward.
I'm going to continue to work across the aisle, and it looks like there's people who across the aisle who want to continue to work with us. So I think it'll be a good year.
Really excited about some of the works I have coming off my plate. Really excited about some of the other ideas that other people are doing too. I think we got a lot of good work that's going to happen. You know, a lot of people don't realize how much bipartisan work happens here.
Obviously, there was a lot more from the 4 lawmakers that we talked to that wasn't able to make the air just because of time constraints. I'll be having a web story up on our website, fox11online.com, as soon as I can, and I'll be including some extra sound bites from those interviews that you can check out. And again, that's on fox11online.com. But for now, reporting live in Madison, Brady Meyer, Fox 11 News.
All right, thank you, Brady. And of course, you can watch Governor Evers' full State of the State address by going to fox11online.com. The speech will also air again at 11 p.m. tonight over on our sister station, CW 14.